Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. In these videos it is my intention to educate anybody who wants to learn about or improve their audio quality within YouTube videos. Although some things I talk about can be applied to other areas, I will be focusing on YouTube video development specifically. Okay, so in the last episode of the YouTube audio guide we took a look at splitting audio using DXTory and virtual audio cable, and whilst that is good if you're cheap, like I used to be, well I still am, but yeah, if that's fine. It gives you some latency, but it works, and for like just casual games or like Minecraft or whatever, it works fine. You won't really notice the latency it gives you, and you can kind of fiddle with it to get the latency just right. But if you're like me and it was getting irritating after a while, or you play games like Battlefield 3 where the audio has to be perfectly in sync when you're like listening to it in real time, then that's not really like a completely viable option for you. So what I done is I bought a set of Tritton AX Pros, which is what this video is going to be about. It's going to be, as you can tell in the title, channel splitting with DXTory using the Tritton AX Pro, or something that has its own dedicated communications channel, because that is basically all you need. Something with a dedicated communications device. This should work with any one of those things. So I know the Astros, I think the A40s and stuff like that, they have this. I think there's a new set out now, and some Turtle Beaches. Basically, if it's got like a little box with it and you can turn up and down the volume and stuff separately, then it will work. But even though I said this will work with other headsets, I don't have those, so I can't like be 100% sure. But I know people that have them and it works. But I'm doing this video with specific reference to Tritton AX Pros. So if you have Astro A40s or something like that, some of your settings may be a little bit different, but this should be a good guide for you nonetheless. But if you have Tritton AX Pros, then this will be the perfect guide. So I want to get into setting up your Tritton AX Pros first, because when I set it up, and I should have known this prior to buying it, I made a couple of mistakes. First off, the Tritton AX Pro is only fully functional when it is running via optical by an optical interface in 5.1, which actually has Dolby Digital Live, which is basically the live encoder that allows digital 5.1 via your SPDIF output. So I did not have that. So if you have a normal sound card just built in on your PC, like in the back, it will not work as it should. You won't be able to do it this way. I had to buy a completely different sound card to do it. So I'll just take you through like a step by step. Basically, to start off with, you unpack it. Now, if you want to just listen to stuff, then fine, you can plug in the component cables or whatever, the actual separate channels into the back. The color, they're color coded, so just plug them right in and you'll have sound. But you won't have the dedicated communications channel because you're just plugging it straight in. So set up your box, set up your and plug everything in. But one thing you need to realize is that if you have, like I said, no external sound card, or a sound card that doesn't have Dolby Digital Live encoding on it, then you will have to go out and buy one. I use a Creative Labs Sound Blaster, it's like 5.1. The link to that will be in the description. But I had to purchase this. It is actually very good, and it allows me to change the volume as well whenever I like, with this little wheel here, which is pretty cool. So purchase one of those, set everything up as you can, and plug your Tritton AX Pro USB into whatever USB port you want to use, and then obviously plug your external sound card into whatever USB port you want to use. Doesn't really make a difference, so just plug it all in. Then you want to link up your Tritton AX Pro box into your Dolby Digital optical sound card. So link those two together and everything should be basically set up and working, and you can have your 5.1 through your headset. So once you get it plugged in, your Tritton AX Pro box is all plugged in, your Dolby Digital Live is all plugged in, everything's hooked together. It shouldn't take long to figure out, but once that's all done, then you will have to change your settings. So to listen to it, it will be SPDIF out. That is my external sound card. That is basically everything I'm going to hear. So if I want to listen to stuff through my headset, I'll set that as my default device. For my microphone, I currently have a Firewire audio, which is currently I'm using now, so that is set as my default device as well. And that basically acts as, you know, it's my microphone. What more do you want? So back to the playback, the key thing here is 2C media USB audio device. That is your Tritton AX Pro box. That is your communications channel. This is what you need. This is the specific thing that I spent all this money on to get, a dedicated communications channel. So this is still my headset. So if I have this as my default device, I could probably still get normal sound coming out, but I use it as my communications device. So that's going to my headset and that's going to my headset. And you may think, hang on, why are you doing that? But if we go into DXTory, we'll be able to see why I do this. So here we are in DXTory, and as you can see, it allows us to create separate audio channels, and this basically records a separate audio stream into the video for whatever source you're getting it from. So for channel 1 I have my game audio, because this is set as my default device. The game audio comes out of here. It's great, the game audio goes through there. Number 2, I've just got my microphone, so I just get my mic there, and number 3 is my communications device. So if I go into TeamSpeak and I just go to settings, options, and playback. So I have my playback device as Speakers 2C Media USB audio device, which is my headset. So basically I'm getting, if I go back to this, so I'm getting TeamSpeak through here into my headset, and through here I'm getting my game sound into my headset, and in here I'm getting my game sound recorded into its own file. I'm getting my microphone recorded into its own file, and I'm getting my TeamSpeak recorded into its own file. That's how it all works. And the fourth one you don't really need to faff about. I have this there because when I'm not playing in TeamSpeak or anything like that, I have that as my default device. So, you know, so I don't lose anything, I always record that. And now if we go into some footage I've recorded already, let's see, BF3. This is basically what you'll see. So let's look at this one. I wasn't recording, damn it.
I'm spawning as a medic.
Damn it, I got your kit. I didn't want your kit, I wanted my fucking tag.
Got rid of a couple of them. So basically here everything's merged because it's just a video file. The way Windows Media Player works, whatever, it just plays everything, which is awesome. But if I right click and extract audio stream, I cancelled the last one because I don't use it, but as you can see it has exported 4 channels. Let's delete the last one. So it's extracted 3 audio files, so it should be the game sound. Which it is, and then this should be my microphone. I wasn't recording, damn it. And the next one should be TeamSpeak.
Thanks for the med shit.
Thanks, Benny. So that's basically how I split all my audio channels, and when I put it into Premiere, just drag and drop everything in there to the bin, and you're free to edit as you want. If you want to upload just the live commentary as it is, then that's fine. If you want to get rid of the live commentary and just have the game sound and then do a commentary over that, you can also do that. That is why I love DXTory, and that is why I love having a headset with its built-in communications device. You can also turn up and down the communications device as you please in your headset. So if people on TeamSpeak are being annoying, you can just simply turn it down and still listen to your game sound without really doing anything. It'll still be recorded at normal volume, but you won't be able to hear it. So the benefits of DXTory and having a communications device is just amazing. So that is it for this episode, and I hope you've learned something, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.